from Sanchez Studios in Miami, this is Disney Jeopardy! Now, let's introduce to you today's contestants. Well, I gotta say, there's no better time to get dizzy than this elephant. He's all set and ready to go. Say hello to Dizzy! One way or another, this mouse sure knows how to tackle out the competition. Please welcome Bree, and our returning champion. Well, she was so close to winning, but then this ant eater body came back. Please welcome our comeback queen, Anabelle, whose one-day cash winnings totaled $2,596. And now, here is the host of Disney Jeopardy. Whenever you know it, this bot is cool. Say hello to Astrobot. Hi! Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here, and welcome to Disney Jeopardy. Glad you're with us today. If you missed out on yesterday's program, you know that Anabelle just came out a bit victorious. She managed to take down former champion Chelsea and win $2,586, and that's why she's back with us today. So let's see how it turns out to be. So we're here today with Anabelle, who is back. For her second day here on Disney Jeopardy with a total of $2,586, and today she'll be facing off against Bree and Dizzy. Who has what it takes to get down and win? Well, we are about to find out. Let's take a look at the rules. There are 5 categories on the board, each with 5 clues, ranging from $200 to $1,000. At the end of the 25 clues, there will be a Final Jeopardy round. All $200 clues will be given first, then $400, $600, $800, and $1,000. Also, hidden on the board is a daily double. If you find it, you can wager as much money as possible. Correct responses earn you money, but incorrect responses will cost you money. So if you get any response incorrect, you'll lose that amount on the board. And remember, the contestant with the most amount of cash at the end of the game will be today's Disney Jeopardy champion, and we'll play again in the next game. Okay, this should be pretty interesting, so I hope you're ready for it. So, let's get right to it. The contestants, are you ready? Then good luck. Let's get to the gameplay. Here are your categories for Episode 8 of Disney Jeopardy. The categories are The Little Mermaid, which got carried over from Disney's program. For Final Jeopardy, that should be pretty good. Second category is Box Office Blunders, which is a category focusing on Disney's biggest box office disappointments. So be aware of that. Following that is Downtown Disney Springs, which is a category that's all about Disney Springs and what came before it. After that, live action remakes, featuring a category that's focusing on live action remakes of past anime classics. And the final category is Don't Forget Your Glasses, which is a category about Disney park attractions that require 3D glasses. Alright? Good. Now, let's get into the board. Is everyone ready? Good. Here we go. Let's get these up with Little Mermaid for 200. According to Ursula, don't underestimate the importance of this. Dizzy, what is body language? Body language is correct. Watch this.
Don't underestimate the importance of body language.
And so with that, you're now at $200 to start the game off. What a way to kick off the game. We move on now to Box Office Blunders, this time for 200. Johnny Depp stars in this catastrophe that lost Disney over $100 million. Dizzy, what is Marnie's mom's? No, that's incorrect, so you start from scratch again. Anybody else? Bree, what is John Carter? Not the movie we're looking for, so minus 200 for you. Your chance is Anabelle. Anabelle, what is The Lone Ranger? The Lone Ranger is correct, and you now have $200 to start the game off. You are a reigning champion, and now you got some money to get things going. Well done. And in case you missed it, here's the correct response. Again, The Lone Ranger is what Anabelle got right. She now has $200. For those of you who don't know, this movie lost the studio over $100 million. So, if you're looking for this movie, then do not watch it. Skip it entirely. It's definitely a no-go for you. With that being said, let's move on now to Downtown Disney Springs for 200. An appropriate name for the world's largest Disney store. Anabelle, what is Planet of Disney? No, that's incorrect, so you bent down to 0. Anybody else wants to come up with the correct response? Dizzy, what is World of Disney? World of Disney is correct, and you're back on the board with $200. Wow, Anabelle, you gotta get back on the board. You got a lot of catching up to do, and you need some money very fast. With that, we go now to live action remakes for 200. It might be tough to officially call this one live action, but it is Disney's highest grossing remake, totaling over $1.6 billion at the box office. Anabelle, what is Beauty and the Beast? Unfortunately, no, that is incorrect, so minus 200 for you. Anybody else? Dizzy, what is The Lion King? The Lion King is correct, and you now have $400. Wow, unbelievable. You have W score to 400. Anabelle, Bree, you're still in the red. Anabelle, Bree, you're both in the red, but it's still anybody's game with one clue left in the $200 round. So here's the correct response. The Lion King went on to receive $1.6 billion in the box office, becoming one of Disney's most successful live-action remakes. Unbelievable. That was amazing, and I couldn't say anything better than that. And there's plenty more live-action remakes to come in the near future. But for now, let's close out the $200 round with Don't Forget Your Glasses. Here is the clue. At the end of Mickey's PhilharMagic, this VIP character goes flying over your shoulder and crashes through the wall at the back of the theater. Dizzy, who is Goofy? Sadly, that is not correct, I'm afraid, so we have to cut your score in half. You're back down to $200. Anybody else? Annabelle, who is Donald Duck? Yes, Donald Duck is correct, and you're not out of the hole. Take a look at this clip. With this, you finish at exactly $0, but Dizzy is our current lead leader with $200 as we come to the end of the $200 round. Whoa, this is still anybody's game. Bree needs to get out of the red and fast, but as we get into the $400 round, as we take another quick look at the scores. Heading into the $400 round, Dizzy is in the lead with $200. Annabelle has no money in the bank, but she is in second place, and Bree needs to catch up. She has negative $200. She's in the red. But the $400 round can change anybody's game for real. Now it's time for the $400 round, and it begins with the Little Mermaid for $400. Don't gift Ariel a thingamabob. She's already got this many of them, according to part of your world. Annabelle, what is 20? Precisely, Annabelle. Watch this.
You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares?
Yep, who cares about that? But I thought so too. Anyways, Annabelle, you're back on the board with $400, and still anybody's game. You're now in the lead. Back to Box Office Blunders we go. This time it's for $400. Hold a special pin, ride It's a Small World, and be transported to this futuristic world. The setting and title for 2015's Box Office Flop. Bree, what is Tomorrowland? Yes, and long last, Bree, you're now out of the hole and back on the board. Take a look at this.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away.
It sure is a great big beautiful tomorrow here, but not in that movie. So with that, Bree, you're out of the hole and you now have $200, tying you with Dizzy at the moment. We continue now with Downtown Disney Springs for $400. Opened on the same day at Disney MGM Studios, this downtown Disney district was created to compete with Church Street Station in downtown Orlando. Dizzy, what is Pleasure Island? Yes, you are right, Dizzy. You're now at $600, unbelievable, and you're now in the lead. What a way to keep the party rolling. And now here's live-action remakes, once again, this time for $400. Cruella, starring Emma Stone, is less a remake and a rather new story based on the life of Cruella de Vil. 1996 did give us a live-action retelling of 101 Dalmatians, though, and it starred this actress as the iconic villain. Dizzy, who is Glenn Close? Exactly, Dizzy. You're now on a roll with 2 correct responses in a row, and you now have $1,000 even. Well done. And in case you missed it, Glenn Close did star as Cruella de Vil in the 1996 remake of 101 Dalmatians, and she recently returned to Disney to play the role, a major role, in the pre-show for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind over at Epcot at Walt Disney World. So, thank you, Glenn. You saved my life forever. Alright, back to the gameplay. Let's finish it off with Don't Forget Your Glasses for $400. If you're running Toy Story Mania, you'll be fighting your way with a blaster that's in one of these 4 colors. Annabelle, what are orange, purple, aqua, and pink? No, Annabelle, you're wrong, so you're down to 0 again. Anybody else? Dizzy, what are brown, gray, black, and white? Not the right colors we're looking for, so you're back down to 600. Your chance at this, Bree. Bree, what are red, yellow, green, and blue? That's more like it. Bree is correct. You're right. Red, yellow, green, and blue are the right colors we're looking for in Toy Story Mania, so you're up to $600, tying you with Dizzy, bringing you to the end of the $400 round. And in case you missed it, red, yellow, green, and blue are the correct colors that you get to choose from one of them in Toy Story Mania. So, what a way to put the $400 round to a satisfying conclusion. Wow, wait, I didn't know this, but I feel much better. And I gotta say, this is definitely worth it the while. Definitely worth the wait, and thank you to everyone who made it possible. Anyways, $600 round is coming up, but first, a quick check of the scores. Heading into the $600 round, Bree and Dizzy are tied in first place with $600 each, but our reigning champion Anabelle has no money, so which means she needs to get back on the board fast, and that's what we're gonna do in the $600 round. The $600 round begins now with Little Mermaid for $600. Here is the clue: the sinister pair of eels that serve as minions to Ursula. Bree, who are Flotsam and Jetsam. Yes, well done, Bree. You're now at $1,200. You have doubled your score. That was amazing. Whew, what a way to get this round started. And of course, you can see Float 7 Jetsam. That one, these are the sinister eels serving as Ursula's minions. Ooh, that's very mean. But we don't want to see that every day. Anyways, moving on to Box Office Blunders for 600. Here's the clue. An absurd budget of over $300 million and eventual loss of over $150 million led to Disney scrapping the planned sequels to this financial disaster. Luckily, the Avengers came out the same year. Annabelle, what is Bedtime Stories? No, that's not the movie we're looking for, so you're down to minus 600. Anybody else? Bree, what is Underdog? Also incorrect, Bree, so your score is cut down to half to $600. Your chances, Dizzy. Dizzy, what is John Carter? John Carter is correct, and with that, you steal Bree's $600 from you, doubling your score to $1,200. That's a lot of money, my friends, but it's still anybody's game now. Let's head back to downtown Disney Springs again, this time for 600. Grab your favorite albums at Virgin Megastore, a downtown Disney staple that at Walt Disney World that once stood where this establishment currently operates. Annabelle, what is Splitsville? Splitsville Luxury Lanes is the correct response, and with that, Annabelle, you're back out of the hole. You start from scratch again at $0, but Dizzy is still our leader. And in case you missed it, here's the correct response. It was Splitsville Luxury Lanes. Yeah, it's currently a place where you can go bowling, but this is where it was before then. It was Virgin Megastore, where you had to buy a whole bunch of albums, CDs, and cassettes for all your music needs. So, yeah, that's pretty much the thing. But enough of that. Back to the gameplay. Here's live action remakes again for 600. When he's not lending his acting chops to the MCU, that being the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this talented individual might be directing, like he did for 2016's The Jungle Book. Bree, who is Kenny Ortega? No, Bree, I'm sorry about that. Kenny Ortega is the wrong director, so you start from scratch again. Anybody else? Annabelle, who is Jon Favreau? Also known as Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau is correct. So you steal Bree's $600 and put it into your account. You now have $600 in your total, Annabelle, and there's only one clue left before the $800 round. And as you already know, Jon Favreau is also known as Happy Hogan, as pictured right here. So remember that. Finally, don't forget your glasses for 600. Here's the clue. W.E.B. Webb from Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, is the acronym for Anabelle. What is Wild Eternity Boot Camp? Well, you had 600, but now I have to take 600 away from you because you are incorrect, Annabelle. Sorry about that. Anybody else? Dizzy, what is the Worldwide Engineering Brigade? Yes, Dizzy, that is what we're looking for here. The Worldwide Engineering Brigade. And with that, you now have $1,800 to close out the $600 round. Wow, still anybody's game, folks. And would you look at that? Here's the correct response. The Worldwide Engineering Brigade is what we're looking for here. From Spider-Man Web Slingers back at Disneyland Park, Disneyland Resort. And California is proud to welcome Spider-Man as their official home. And with that, we finally put a close to the $600 round. Now that is what I'm talking about here. Dizzy has taken an over-compromised lead. And while Bree and Annabelle have yet to come on the board. Let's take a look at the scores. Heading into the $800 round. Now Dizzy is in the lead with $1,800, while Bree and Annabelle have yet to come on the board. Yeah. They keep getting correct responses after incorrect responses. They're going back and forth with between right and wrong answers, but the tide is about to turn in the $800 round. Here we go, on to the $800 round, and it begins with the Little Mermaid for 800. According to Scuttle, a fork is a dingle hopper, and a pipe is actually a musical instrument called this. Bree, what is a festikinker? That is a funny name, Bree, but no, I'm sorry, that's not it. Sorry about that. Anybody else? Annabelle, what is a mingletink? Wrong again, Annabelle. You're chances this, Dizzy. Dizzy, what is a snarfblatt? Yes, Dizzy, you got it again. Watch this short clip and you'll understand why.
This is wonderful. A banded, bulbous snarfblatt.
And so that's how we got here. So yeah, a snarfblatt is what a pipe is called. So anyways, Dizzy, you have now increased your rate to $2,600, and Annabelle and Bree, you have still yet to get back out of the red. There's plenty of game left. So hang tight, girls. Now, though, we go back to Box Office Blunders for the second to final time. This is worth $800. Sandwiched between Lilo and Stitch and Brother Bear, this feature animation film grossed just $38 million domestically and finished in 4th place on its opening weekend. Bree, what is The Emperor's New Groove? Wrong movie, Bree, so you dig deeper into the hole. Anybody else? Annabelle, what is Treasure Planet? Good for $800, Annabelle. Take a look at this clip. So, Treasure Planet is the correct movie we're looking for, and with that, Annabelle, you made it back out of the hole, and you're starting from scratch again at $0. Wow. What a heartbreaking, folks. Back to downtown Disney Springs we go. This time it's worth $800. Here's the clue. The 3 garages you can park your car in at Disney Springs. Anabelle, what are strawberry, passion fruit, and banana? No, Anabelle, that's incorrect, so you're back in the hole again. Anybody else? Bree, what are orange, lime, and grapefruit? Correct, Bree. So you're getting closer to leaving the hole. You have minus $800 at the moment, but Dizzy is our leader with $2,600. And as you see, the picture here is the lime parking garage, one of the 3 parking garages at Disney Springs, alongside orange and grapefruit. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into live action remakes for the second to final time. This is worth $800. Actually, no, it's not worth $800. It's worth a whole lot more. Ooh, I better get my wings on because that can only be one thing in mind. It is time for the Daily Double. And that means this is your chance to wager as much money as possible and get back into the game as soon as possible. So prepare yourselves. And since Bree got the last response correct, she gets the Daily Double all to herself. So good luck, Bree. You're gonna need it. Bree, if you think you know your live action remakes, well, get ready because the time is now. Bree, please make your wager now. And time is up. So how well is your wager, Bree? Well, guess only time will tell. Besides, Bree, you can wager up to $1,000 in this Daily Double. So remember that. Got it? Good. Let's do it. All right, then. Bree has locked in her wager, and she is wagering $500. Okay. Just half of her $1,000, but that's okay. This should be good enough to get him straight out of third place and a little bit closer to second place. So let's see how it does. All right, here we go. $500 on the line if you're right in live action remakes. Bree, here is your Daily Double. Tim Burton takes the directing reins in this 2019 flick, starring Danny DeVito. What is Pinocchio? Ooh, no, Bree, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct response was actually, what is Dumbo? Sorry about that. So you dig deeper into the hole, you're down to minus $1,300, but it's still anybody's game with one clue left in the $800 round. Yeah, tough disappointment for Bree. She missed the Daily Double very badly. The correct response was, what is Dumbo? And unfortunately, she missed it out. Don't worry, someone will get that Daily Double next time. We will get it! But for now, let's close out this $800 round with Don't Forget Your Glasses. This one is worth $800. Here's the clue. Despite traversing to different destinations with each ride, this will always be your flight number aboard Star Tours. The adventures continue. Bree, what is 1603? That is not the flight number we're looking for, Bree, so you dig deeper into the hole. Anybody else? Dizzy, what is 1502? Also not the right flight number for you, Dizzy, so you're back down to 1800. Your chance is Anabelle. Anabelle, what is 1401? 1401 is correct, and with that, you're now back out of the hole, and you're starting from scratch again. You now have $0, but it's still anybody's game as we enter the $1,000 round. And of course, here is the correct response. What is 1401? So remember that. Got it. Good. As you already know, Star Tours flight number 1401 is always your flight number on board Star Tours. The adventures continue. And thus comes to the end of the $800 round. That is very upsetting. We have the second episode in a row where we have a missed Daily Double. That was a tough break, but don't worry. We'll get him again on the next episode. But in the meantime, let's check out the scoreboard heading into the $1,000 round. Going into the $1,000 round, Dizzy is still in the lead with $1,800. Anabelle is in second place. She's already in champion, but she has $0, so she has yet to get on the board. And Bree is in third place. She has minus $2,100, but it's still anybody's game as we enter the $1,000 round. And with that, it is the moment you've been waiting for. It is time for the $1,000 round. You know what to do. Hit it! Yep, that's right. It is time for the $1,000 round. This is going to be getting very serious right here. No matter what happens, things are about to get even more harder. That's right. All clues are worth $1,000 each, and they're about to be extremely difficult. So prepare yourselves. It's about to get wild. You ready? Let's do this. All right, here we go. The toughest trivia clues in Disney Jeopardy history begin right now with Little Mermaid for $1,000. Here's the clue. Pat Carroll not only voiced Ursula in the original film, but this character in the straight-to-VHS sequel titled The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Anabelle, who is Vanessa? Tough break, Anabelle, but that is incorrect. Anybody else? Bree, who is Diana? Good guess, Bree, but that is also incorrect. Your chance at this, Dizzy. Dizzy, who is Morgana? There we go, that's more like it. Morgana is correct, and she is the villain of The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, so you're now at $2,800 at the moment. And here is the new sea witch from The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Morgana is who Pat Carroll voiced alongside Ursula in the original film, so keep that in mind. With that, we go to Office Blunders for the final time. This one's worth $1,000. Actors wore full body suits for motion capture in this animated film that cost over $150 million to make. It debuted to an astoundingly low $6 million at the box office, marking it as one of Disney's biggest financial blunders in history. Annabelle, what is Valiant? Wrong again, Annabelle. Anybody else? Bree, what is Mars Needs Moms? Yes, Bree, Mars Needs Moms is the movie we're looking for here, so you're back up to negative $2,100, but it's still anybody's game. Anabelle, Bree, you two need to get out of the hole fast in order to get to Final Jeopardy. Disney is the only one who has positive money on the board. Time for one final visit to downtown Disney Springs for 1,000. Here's the clue. The first official name for the area, currently Disney Springs, from 1975 to 1977. Bree, what is the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village? You're right again, Bree. You're now up to minus $1,100. You got 2 correct responses in a row, but there are only 2 clues left before Final Jeopardy, so you got a chance to get out of the hole. Fast! So this is what Disney Springs used to be like before then. It was called the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village. Never heard about that. Never visited it when I was a little kid, but that's okay. Hey, takes me back to good old memories. What are some of your memories? Have you been there before when you were a little kid? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. But right now, though, back to the gameplay. Here's live action remakes for the final time. This is for 1,000. 2017's Beauty and the Beast features Dan Stevens singing this song as the Beast, a song that wasn't part of the animated classic. Dizzy, what is Evermore? Yes, you got it, Dizzy. Take a look at this clip. So with that, Dizzy, you maintain your lead at $3,800, and there's only 1 clue left before Final Jeopardy. Woo! It's getting down to the wire, folks. And here is the final clue. Don't forget your glasses for 1,000. The final clue before Final Jeopardy. Here it is. The official name for the glasses you wear while riding Avatar: Flight of Passage, at least according to the pre-show. Annabelle, what are flight visors? Yes, way to go, Annabelle. Want to know the proof? Then watch this.
Step all the way forward and then sit down. Wait until you're seated before you put on your flight visors.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And so with that, Annabelle, you finished with negative $1,000, but Disney is still in the lead with $3,800 as we come down to Final Jeopardy. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. The moment of truth is coming up. Final Jeopardy right around the corner. Before we get to that, though, let's take a look at the scores. As you already know, Dizzy is the only contestant who has positive money. He has $3,800 going to Final Jeopardy. Annabelle and Bree cannot participate. They have negative money, but as you already know, the show is called Disney Jeopardy, not just plain old regular Jeopardy, so this has to be done right now. There we go. Annabelle and Bree's scores are now positive again, and I added $1,000 each of your individual scores. So Annabelle, you now have $2,000, Bree, you now have $2,100, and Dizzy, you now have $4,800. So with everything in mind, let's get into it. This is it, the moment of truth. It's time for Final Jeopardy. This Final Jeopardy category will be carried over to our next episode. So prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. And only one of you will become today's Disney Jeopardy champion. Today's Final Jeopardy category is Disney song lyrics. This category is all about song lyrics from a specific Disney or Pixar animated feature film. So if you think you know your knowledge, then get ready for it. Players, make your wagers now. And time is up. Wow, I shouldn't say any better than that, but I love the way you speak. Anyways, are you all ready? Then let's get into it. All of our players have locked in their wagers, and now we're all set to go. Disney song lyrics is the category for Final Jeopardy. Here is the clue. Your fate is sealed when your prophecy is read. Players, you have 30 seconds. Good luck. Alright, players, your time is up. So, how well did you do? Did you get it right? Yeah, maybe so, but we'll see how it turns out to be. Alright, is everyone ready? Good. Let's see how well you did. We begin with Anabelle, our reigning champion, who had $2,000 going to Final Jeopardy. Now, the correct response is a song from Encanto. So remember that, guy. Good. Anyways, what did Anabelle put down? Her response was, what is we don't talk about Bruno? And yes, Anabelle, that is correct. Let's watch this short clip.
Look at my hair. Your fate is sealed when your prophecy is read.
So with that correct response, Anabelle, you're going to increase your winnings even more. By how much? By $1,451. Whew. You nearly doubled your score, but that's okay. Congratulations. Let's add that to your total. So with that correct response, Anabelle, you have now taken second place with $3,451. But let's see if Bree got down. We don't talk about Bruno. Is she right? Let's find out. Bree had $2,100 going to Final Jeopardy. Did she put down we don't talk about Bruno? No, she put down what is the first pressure instead, and that unfortunately is incorrect. Let's see how much it's going to cost her. Not that much, $845. So not a pretty big wager. Let's just do that for your total. So with that incorrect response, Bree, you have now taken third place with $1,255. But Disney cannot be caught. Let's hope he gets it right. If he does, he is the new Disney Jeopardy champion. If he wagers big, if he gets the response incorrect and he wagers by a lot, Anabelle remains the Disney Jeopardy champion. Let's see how it turns out. Disney was in the lead. He had $4,800 going to Final Jeopardy. Is he thinking about we don't talk about Bruno? No! Instead, he put down the family madrigal, and that also is incorrect. Oh no. It all depends on the range. Did you go big or did you go small? You went big! Ouch! $4,016? No! Tough luck for you, Dizzy. That's too bad for you. Let's deduct that from your total. So with that big wager, Dizzy, you went down, all the way down, from first place all the way down to third place with $784. Because we have a comfortable high win for Anabelle, because with $3,451, she remains the Disney Jeopardy champion. Congratulations! And so, ladies and gentlemen, Anabelle has retained her title of Disney Jeopardy champion. And that's because of her comfortable high win, and now she is definitely on the road to becoming another long-time Disney Jeopardy champion. Her two-day total is now $6,047, and she'll be back to play with us again next time in episode 9. And with that, that's going to do it for today's edition of Disney Jeopardy. Thank you so much for watching. Anabelle has remained the Disney Jeopardy champion for 2 days in a row. Can she go for 3 in a row? We'll have to find out next time to find out. In the meantime, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to never miss more content from us as we're on the road to 6,600 subscribers. And for more episodes of Disney Jeopardy, check out the playlist via the link up there at the top right corner of your screen. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely go do so. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. For Big Sections, I'm Mitchell Bond, signing out for Disney Jeopardy. It's been a pleasure seeing you, but now all these must come to an end. So, thanks for watching. Like, first, subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. Laters!